Hi everyone, welcome back to TheJaxLife for Thursday, December the 29th, 2011. Well, we're only several days away from 2012, and it's kind of unusual because here we are at the end of the year, but just in the past month or so, social media has changed for me, and on TheJaxLife I have been talking a little bit about some of the social media changes that have been happening this year. I talked about the Facebook timeline as it was first unveiled, but it wasn't until this month that I actually had an impact for me. And also, YouTube has changed. And we'll talk about some of these changes and kind of look back at this year and how I interpreted the changes. And we'll look ahead to 2012. Well, first started with Google Plus. Google Plus came out of nowhere for me, and I had high hopes for it, but it really hasn't taken off like I had hoped, uh, and I'm somewhat disappointed. Uh, there's always hope, uh, for the future for Google Plus, but I just don't have the advanced network that I had hoped to have on Google Plus. So we'll see. Facebook. Well, I was very critical of the Facebook timeline, and I still have some very valid concerns about the way things are displayed. But after having the timeline unveiled for me this month, I am enjoying it somewhat. Uh, but I've looked at Facebook, and I guess it's a love-hate relationship. There are some things I really love about it, but there are some concerns that I have, especially for the future. My usage of Facebook has advanced to a higher level. Facebook has helped me to be more in touch with my friends, and it has allowed me to really kind of plan out my activities and share ideas. So in that, it has succeeded better than I had hoped this year. But unfortunately, I still have concerns as more things are kind of pieced together. Uh, and I do want to invite you to check out the video I did earlier this year on the Facebook timeline. I'll put the link in for you right here. Uh, YouTube. Right towards the end of the year, the new YouTube. Uh, when I look at Google Plus and I look at Facebook and I look at YouTube, Twitter really has, for me, remained somewhat the same. Uh, I think the YouTube rollout is probably the worst of them all uh, because YouTube had a lot going for it under the old model, the old website way of communicating, and the channel look that I have now is somewhat generic. I think in time there'll be some opportunities to customize it. I'm going to try to work on ways I can customize my background, but it just looks incredibly generic. You go to a channel, for example, like I look at a channel that I'm interested in, and I'll think, wow, under the old paradigm, the old way of thinking for YouTube, uh, you would go to the channel and go, wow, this is amazing. But you go to the channel now, and the ideas are great. The person's fascinating, but that generic one-size-fits-all approach to channel display on YouTube really just sucks the life out of it. It takes some of the fascination and enjoyment out of YouTube, and of course, consequently, I do spread my time maybe a little bit more evenly among the different networks. I'm not on YouTube so much as a browser as much anymore as I was, partly because the front page of the website is horrendous. I had a running strip of channels that I subscribed to, and that running strip, uh, first of all, I don't feel with it that I get this feeling like I'm not getting everything or that I'm not seeing everything. And I guess probably because I'm not seeing everything all at once. Uh, I have to keep pressing the load more button down at the bottom. Uh, it's a hodgepodge. I don't know. I know I'm missing something, so I have to keep going back and looking. Then I don't trust it, so I go right to the to my subscriptions link and go through the the hundreds of subscriptions that I have, trying to find to see what is it that I want to see, what's going on. Uh, it's very bewildering why they would choose this format. I guess maybe they think it's going to cause you to stay on YouTube longer, but that hasn't worked for me. It's been the exact opposite. Um, there are. I'm not going to say there aren't some advantages to it, in the sense that in some ways it may um, profile it'll show a profile of a video that I find a little bit more interesting than I may have in the general than in the previous catch-all kind of format. Uh, but I don't know. I'm just overall disappointed. I think there's a better way for you to be able to get your subscriptions, and I just don't see success on this website as to why the way they've done it. More complaints on it. It's just I don't know. It's just thrown together. It's not like it's just not it's not comprehensible really. I mean, there's just no thematic approach to it. I'm looking down again. I'm looking down a narrow strip instead of being able to kind of look beyond. And then I look to the right for the recommended channels and things like that. I don't see anything interesting there. So I think a lot of things changed on the front page website, and not really for the better for me. And then the left side, the graphics of it, the text is really small. The buttons are just kind of like, okay, well, do I click here? Do I click here? I find that if I click on, where it says the word subscriptions, it's just, I'm at a loss. I'm practically speechless for how bad it is. I don't think I can even articulate how bad the front page of YouTube has become, and it's disappointing. Uh, YouTube's getting away from its roots. It's becoming some sort of generic approach, and maybe that's great. If it thinks maybe it wants competition, lots of competition, because what will happen in time is if you have such a bad design like that on all fronts, the front page, the channel choices, channel design. If you have that, then when the real neat something comes along, people are going to drop. Now, I'll continue to upload and do my channels, but it does take some of the spirit away so far as my browsing. And I may find that, in some ways, Facebook and Twitter will kind of gain my audience, or gain my attention because of the design flaws that are horrendous. And I say to YouTube, you need to fix the design flaws. You need to let me see kind of what I need to see in the right way, because I can't really, I just can't see myself browsing like I used to, and it's just not happening like it used to. So another concern I have from my video manager page, I can't see likes and dislikes. What's that all about? I have to pull up my own video like I'm a viewer of my channel, like I'm not me. I don't know. I made the video. Shouldn't I find out what the likes and dislikes are from my video manager page? Maybe, do you not want me to know? I mean, I usually get mostly likes, but I like to know if I do something controversial. Why do I have to bring up the video myself as a count as a view? I don't know. I'm just, and then I've just this whole talk now has just degenerated into ranting and rambling, but I'm pushing through. Another thing, I go to try to put the video on my channel page as a profiled video, and I have to do some little something or other. I don't know. I mean, I feel like maybe I'm a YouTube employee sitting in a cubicle, and maybe they know the secrets, and I just have to learn little tricks. I mean, if you want your average consumer of media, producer of media to use backdoor tricks and, what's the word for it? Stopgap measures, and, uh, to try to actually manipulate around their own channel site. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what you intended to do, whether maybe in the middle of this design you all just dropped and went off to another project or something. But very disappointing. And I guess maybe now I can kind of look at it, and I don't know. I'm just not really. When you look at Google Plus and you look at YouTube, um, some levels of disappointment. And overall, this was a year that I think Google could have really made it. A producer and a consumer of YouTube clips, I'm overall just the experience is disappointing from one end to the other. And so, I've held off for a couple weeks until I really felt like I could give a good assessment. And there it is. Well, that's my look at social media for 2011. I wonder what 2012 has in store for me. I hope it's better in many ways. I still have the concerns about information and how analysis is done on the individual. I think there are concerns so far as SOPA and the legislation involved with that. And what is the future? Will we be living in some sort of minority report society? For those of you who may be a little bit thrown off by that phrase, based on the movie and then the book that had been done, that had been written years ago. Check it out. Movie stars Tom Cruise talks about the future, and in many ways, I think that the book and the film are definitely spot on as to where we're at right now. So next, the next video on Jack's Life will be my New Year's resolutions along with the New Year's Eve fireworks downtown, and that will be up next Thursday. So I hope you enjoy it. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you next Thursday. Take it easy. Later.